Hello, I'm Klaus Andersen. Today is Monday, the 22nd of October 2018, and today I'm just gonna take a quick look of the trade of the day in the DAX index. Also, I want to mention quick where you could have gotten trapped in a trade today. Today's context, we had a lot of overlapping bars in the opening hours right here. We had an attempt to break out to the downside, and price found buyers below. We had a bear channel established. We had a close outside the channel and a retest of the lows before we had a correction to the upside. There's two ways to look at this correction. Either you have a two push correction, 1, 2, or you count it as a 3 push pattern. You have this low down here, 1, 2, 3. Nested in here, of course, is several other patterns. Here is a 2 push pattern up there. You have a 1, 2 push pattern there. And this high, then there's 1, 2 push pattern down right there. So a lot of nested patterns. Anyway, that was there was a small bull channel up here, and then we get what I saw as the trade of the day in here. First off, it's an okay probability compared to the risk you're taking, and it has a lot of potential reward in it. It's at prior resistance. We had the open up here, we'll trade it down, and then established resistance up here. We tested that resistance several times, once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times over here. When we got back up here, you saw it made this minor double top, these two small tails up here, and traded down, closed on the lows right there. Also, we had a measured move, this high right there, that low, this movement right here up to there, so that's a measured move from there as well. If you discount this spike down, they pulled back, and then it made a high low in here, and this move in this leg right here, also approximately a harmonic move compared to these two next pushes up here. Also, you have established this is support right here, became, I'm gonna make that black, support here became resistance. Here you had sellers up here, so resistance again. So it's a failed breakout of this resistance area in a trading range price action market, where when the context is like this, then 80% of your breakout attempts will fail approximately. So expecting the breakout to fail at prior resistance with this nice signal bar that closed on the lows, it's an okay, it's a pretty good setup. And this, if what you would like to have seen is that this was a second entry short as well. But you have this two-legged correction, and that is in essence a nested second entry short. But if you look at the 15-minute time frame, let's see if that pops up there. On the 15-minute time frame right here, just gonna take this out of the way here so we can see it better. This is the low down here, and then we get the correction. That's the first entry short, and price move up here is, again, that's the second entry short. And look at this bar, traded all the way up there, close near the lows. These bull bars, not strong bull bars compared to these this movement up here. Smaller bull bars, so not a lot of momentum to the upside. And a second entry short on the 15-minute time frame, that makes this a pretty good setup in my book. And target wise, I'm just gonna drop that back down to the 5-minute time frame so you can see this down here. At this low here, that low there, that's major support from earlier. We had these highs here yesterday, resistance now serving as support. So potentially a trading range forming up here. So that's your initial target, this area down here. You saw prices pop down here for failed break lower in the middle of the day. So that's a second target. Perhaps you could get a 100% expansion of this move. Let's just see where that gets us. Of this move up here to this low, or these lows down here. Look at that low takes prices down to here, where you see price bounced down here. Also, that's a major support area from these lows over here. So that's a nice price target for your runners. On the trade today that you could have gotten trapped into, it's up here. Technically, this is a second entry long. You have this high right here, first entry, second entry long. Look at all of these bars here overlapping. But I'm just going to take this out of the way. If you didn't see this bear channel coming down through here, then what you would have spotted was you had a new high, and then you had a pullback, and a first entry, another pullback, and then where's the second entry? It comes over here, but now you have too many overlapping bars, and then on this bar right here, you got a failed break lower and a close near the highs right here. See, this is support right here, and price attempts to go lower at one time, and this was a completely red bar with the close all the way down here, except it didn't close down here before it closed. Buyers came in, bought all the way up to a close near the highs over here, up here. So it's a wedge flag. You had a strong bull movement, and then you have a flag pattern in here. So you could get trapped into a long trade here, easy, and that would have failed. When you got this, you got a nice follow through bar even, but after that you had sellers. In the close of this bar right here, you had sellers. That's a lower high, and if you didn't have it in place already, then this trend bar, the trend line here, something like this, these highs, or at the very least this resistance area here in place, and be careful going long into this right here. When you see this large bear bar closing near the lows, you could go short below this one or below that bar, because bulls that went long on this bar right here, a lot of them will have stops down here to get out of their longs. Others will have their stop below this low. That was the low of the day so far. So if you get in where they placed their stops, then often you easy could get 10 points scalp. Now that's here you got well, to that low 20 points scalp on this movement here alone, and then you got a second leg down. That's just a quick look of today's trading in the DAX. That was the trade of the day, and this was where you potentially could have gotten trapped in. Ways to stay out of this trade is just to see how many bars are stacked up there overlapping. So every bar is going to look like an opportunity, one or the other direction. If you want to trade this, then you need to sell at the resistance and buy near the support, and scalp out. I will scalp out already in the middle, and then be quick about moving my stop to break even, because one time or the other this is going to happen, or you're going to have a failed break lower here, and then a failed break high, and then all the stops have been taken out. You will also go long in here, but place your stop all the way down below the last major low down here. That way you could scale in lower, and then you could get out up here, almost break even on that, and definitely with some points on this long from down here. So, but I like to manage it the other way. Well, what speaks against this trade of the day here? Well, we're in the bull channel up here. You're at the high of the bull channel. You are expecting some correction down, but still we like to see a break of the channel and a retest of the high. That's that's not present on this setup on this time frame right here. Also, it's not a second entry on the 5-minute time frame. It's a nested second entry, but it's not technically a real second entry here. And also, it's you're making higher highs. You have a high here, small correction, and a higher high, and a small correction, and again a higher high, correction, and a higher high. So higher highs and higher lows. It's not a bear market scenario on here. So you got to look at the wider context of the failed breakout of this resistance area right here, the context, trading range context, and the measured move, and the signal bar, and the second entry short on the 15-minute time frame, and stuff like that to make this a better trade, a trade of the day. Look at this. If you kept your runners from the entry up here all the way down to this target area down here, then you would have gotten out with about 140 points on the runners. So that could have been a pretty profitable trade, only this one trade. Well, that's it for today. I am Claus Andersen. Feel free to comment on this video, on the technique, so whatever you like, and I'll look into it and make these videos to get better trading. Of course, if you want to see more, there's a subscribe button and then the like button to tell me that that you find these videos interesting. Anyways, that's it for today. Have a nice trading week.